Hey guys, welcome back to our Bible study.
Today we're going to read Mark chapter 7. If you haven't prayed already, pause the video and pray, and make sure you guys follow along in your Bible. But I'm going to start with the first 12 verses. A group of Pharisees and some teachers of Elohim's rules came from Jerusalem. They came to talk with Yahushua. They had watched Yahushua's disciples. Some of the disciples did not wash their hands before a meal. Instead, they were eating their food as other people eat. The Pharisees and all the Jews do not eat until they have washed their hands carefully. They do this because of a rule that their leaders made many years ago. When they came from the marketplace, they must always wash. Unless they do this, they cannot eat. Their leaders had also given them rules about how to do other things. For example, there are rules about how they should wash cups, pots, and metal jars. The Pharisees and teachers of Elohim's rules said to Yahushua, "Your disciples do not obey the rules that our leaders made many years ago. Your disciples have not washed their hands. They are eating their food as other people eat." Yahushua said to the Pharisees and the teachers of Elohim's rules, What Isaiah said about you is true. You are hypocrites. He wrote down these words from Elohim. These people say good things about me, but they do not really want to obey me. They teach rules that men gave to them, so they pray to me without any purpose. You have stopped obeying Elohim, Yahushua said to them. Instead, you obey the rules that men gave to people many years ago. He said to them, You are very careful to refuse Elohim's rules, because then you can obey your own old rules. For example, Moses wrote, You must love your father and your mother, and you must obey them. He also said a person should die if he says bad things against his father or against his mother. But you teach that a person can say to his father or to his mother, I would have given you these gifts to you, but I cannot because I have given them to Elohim instead. Then you let him do nothing for his father or for his mother. So, what stuck out to me is verse 8. Let me read it again. It says, You have stopped obeying Elohim, Yahushua said to them. Instead, you obey the rules that men gave to people many years ago. So the part that stuck out to me about this was that they were asking Yahushua why his disciples don't follow their rules. But Yahushua was saying that they, instead of obeying Yah's rules in the 10 Commandments, but they obey their ancestors' rules instead. So that stuck out to me. Busy is going to read the next 12 verses.
Making the word of Elohim of none effect through your tradition, which ye have delivered in many such like things do ye. And when he had called, making the word of Elohim of none effect through your tradition, which ye have delivered in many such like things ye do ye. And when he called all the people unto him, he said unto them, Hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand. There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him. But the things which come out of the man, those are they that defile the man. If any man have ears to hear,
To hear.
There you go.
Oh, if any man has ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable. And he saith unto them, Are ye so without understanding? Also do ye not perceive that whoever thing
Whatsoever
thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him, because it entereth not in his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the drought, purging all meats. And he said that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of man, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceitfulness, deceit, lasciviousness. Keep going. Let go. I'm with you. Deceit, lasciviousness, and evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. And from thence he arose and went into the borders of Tyre and Sidon, and entered into a house, and would have no man know it, but he could not be hid. That's it.
So, Busy, what stuck out to you in these verses?
It was verse 16. If any man has ears to hear, let him hear.
So, what do you want to know about that verse?
It's a question of, like, what is he talking about?
So, the verse 16, if any man has ears to hear, let him hear. It's just talking about, like, if any man that's I guess sinful and they want to hear about Yah, then let them hear about him. Teach them about Yah's word. If they want to listen, then let them listen. So, yeah. Does anybody else have anything?
Yep, I have something.
Okay.
So these verses talks a lot about let me find the exact verse. Verse 15, where it says, There's nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him. But the things which come out of him, those are what defile the man. Now, this people, they like to use these verses to say that all meat is clean, especially verse 19, where it says, Because it entereth not his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out the drought, purging all meats. But this isn't talking about how meat is clean. This is talking about, because before it was talking about a rule that they had where they were always washing their hands and not keeping Yah's law and just keeping the laws that their ancestors or their elders made up. So he was saying that the food, it doesn't like defile you in the inside. It just goes out. It just like comes out. So
yeah,
that's what they're talking about.
That's interesting, because I have another version, and it says, verse 19, it says, you know that food does not go into the mind of a person. First, it goes into his stomach, and then it goes out of his body. So all foods are clean. So I feel like they added that so like it could sound like all foods are clean to eat, and you know.
They did add it, and they try to say that it's his words but it's not his words. They just added it to fit their narrative. So I'm gonna read the rest. Wait, I forgot to share. Sorry. For a certain woman whose young Okay, sorry. For a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him and came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek, Syro-Phoenician woman by nation, and she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. But Yahushua said to her, "Let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it unto the dogs." And she answered unto him, "Yes, master, yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs." And he said unto her, For this saying, go thy way, the devil has been cast out of thy daughter, which is demon. And when she came to her house, she found that the devil had gone out, and her daughter laid upon the bed. And again, departing from the coast of Tyre and Sidon, he came to the Sea of Galilee through the midst of the coast of Decapolis. They bring unto him one that is deaf and had an impediment in his speech, and they beseech him and put his hand upon him. And he took him aside from the multitude, put his fingers into his ears, and he spit and touched his tongue. And looking up to heaven, he sighed and saith unto him, Epaphatha, that is, be opened. And straightway his ears were opened, and the string of his tongue was loosed, and he spake plain. And he charged them that they should tell no man, but the more he charged them, the much more a great deal they published it, and were beyond measure astonished, speaking, He hath done all these things well. He maketh both the deaf to hear and the dumb to speak. So, in the verses 24 to 30, I didn't know what it meant at first, but I think I know now. So, when Yahushua says to her, where is it? Let the children first be filled. It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it unto the dogs. I think Yahushua was saying this to like test how she was thinking, like if she was humble or if she wasn't humble. He didn't notice how he didn't specifically say that she was the dog in this situation. But back then, most Hebrews or Jews, they would like look down on people who aren't from their nation, saying that they're not special or they're not good, loved by Yah. I think so. Yeah, like they're the only ones. I've seen Hebrew Israelites do this too. Yeah, like they're not equal. And then she said, "Yes, yes, master. Yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs," which she's saying herself that she's the dog in this situation and being humble about it. And Yahushua, he healed her daughter because she was being humble in this situation. So yeah. Is there anybody else who has anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to end with the creation nugget by Kai.
All right. Just start from this part. In Matthew chapter 25, verse 31 to 46, it talks about sheep and the goats. Specifically, on screen. Specifically, the verse 32, which says, "All the nations will be gathered together before him, and he will separate the people one from one another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats." Now, he'll put the sheep on his right, and the goats on his left. Now, the goats are meant to be the nations, and goats are usually like how donkeys are portrayed to be. Sorry, it's not showing yet. They're usually very stubborn, very rebellious, like they like to do their own thing. And unlike sheep, who they follow their shepherd, they follow where they're supposed to go. Now, this is trying to tell us to be more like sheep, so we can follow Yahushua instead of trying to rebel against Yahushua, who is our shepherd. So, yep, that's just something that I want to show.